I have cast you a love potion for today. This is vlog day 577.
Good morning. I don't even care what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. Is it Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. What's most important is we are halfway to 2 different goals. The 10,000 subscriber goal. We just hit 5,000 subscribers while I was asleep. That's really exciting. And I just weighed myself. And I'm halfway to that goal too. On the drop 20, we have dropped 10 pounds. Granted, things have slowed down a little bit. I haven't been the most disciplined lately, but we're still headed in the right direction. I'm just prolonging my own self-torture. I need to up my game on that whole front again, but we're still headed in the right direction. That's exciting. That's exciting. Those are exciting things. I'm excited, at least. Really excited all by myself here in this room. Now, I am gonna go meet Natasha to work on a lot of stuff. I'm really behind on work because, well, I'm not that behind, just feeling a little bit behind, so I just want to get on top of a couple of things. What I am behind on is we were supposed to talk about mercy ships. I had stories ready for Monday, Mercy Ships Monday. Missed that. Today is a Write Early Wednesday, so maybe we'll combine the two a little bit. Nah, we'll just do Write Early Wednesday. Today I was gonna talk about how and where I write, and we'll see if we sprinkle a little bits of like, history and mercy ships in there, because I've written in a number of places. Originally, I think I finished each of the first 4 or 5 books that I wrote in different countries. So that was kind of fun. So we can talk about that, because I don't only write in coffee shops. Sometimes I write on hospital ships or in steakhouses. You just never know when and where is gonna be a good time to write. Without further ado, I'm gonna go shopping, because another thing I want to improve on, as you know, it's very difficult to cook in my apartment. I don't have a kitchen, and I generally don't have time, just because if I want to sleep more than 5 hours a night, I don't have a lot of time. But I need to get better about it, because food is like my #1 expenditure, and I'm not made of money. And so I'm gonna go to the store and buy some more pasta stuff, just so I can at least make, I have pasta here, but I need more sauce. I might buy some meat. And of course I need to refresh on the whole like bananas and apples front. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna go join Natasha, and we will talk about the craft of writing. Strategy, method to the madness. Of course, the ravioli, which I'm trying to avoid lately, is for like right now, when I just want to eat quick, get out the door. It's a full meal. I mean, this is like 600 calories with pasta sauce and everything. Sauce, because I'm not making my own sauce. And then, like the pork chops, this is a lot. I got four pork chops for €3. Ugh. So this is gonna go a long ways, because I have pasta, I have loose pasta, so I'll cook that. I'm gonna fry pretty much all this up at the same time, I think, with onions and garlic, and then store it in the fridge, and then I'll just throw it into the sauce when I heat the sauce, boil some pasta, and it'll be relatively quick. But of course, cooking pasta and all this takes a little bit more time. And generally, I don't really feel like I've got a lot of time, so that makes it kind of hard to do. But if I pre-cook this, then it'll really help a lot. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge along with this. And then obviously, bananas for breakfast, and apples for snacks. Not a bad haul. Like €17, and it came close to 6 meals. Well, 6 meals plus. I'm gonna have to buy a little bit more pasta and sauce probably. And bananas and apples don't really count for meals, but they're basically meals. So not bad. I need to keep doing this. I need to really start eating at home as much as I can. I also got a penguin card from my mom. Thanks, Mom. Okay, I'm gonna eat, and then we'll talk about we'll talk about writing now. My first book I wrote on my couch. in the house that I used to live in, and that was before I ended up selling everything and packing what little I had left and moving to South Africa. So I kind of worked on it here and there. I guess I was working on it during my training for Mercy ships as well. So that one I worked on kind of whenever and wherever I could. I didn't really have a whole lot of comfortable options, especially when I finally ended up in Appelsbosch, which is this old segregated teaching college in South Africa that got shut down after apartheid, out in Zulu territory, so out in the hills, beautiful country. And I would just go sit in my little dorm room at night and write. It was like this cement-walled, cold, austere, just harsh environment. Everything echoed. You could hear everything anyone did, and anybody that went to the bathroom, you knew exactly how they were doing based on what you heard in the hallway. And that's where I finished my first book. I writing in that room at that tiny little old, you know, like 30-year-old composite board desk. I think I had one of those metal and ceramic chairs that all of us had in like middle school back in the day. And that's where I finished my first book. I think on Christmas Eve of 2010, either that or Christmas Day. Might have been Christmas Day that I finished it, actually. Handed it off to my buddy Peter. He read it. He loved it and gave me some great notes. It just kind of blew my mind. And that was the start of that. I'm trying to remember where I finished my second book. It was either in Togo or might have been Sierra Leone. I don't remember. I know I got a lot of work done on it while I was on vacation here in France from Sierra Leone. I would take my little notebook. I had a little netbook, so a crappy little old laptop, and I would carry it around with me and just sit down like in parks here in Paris, especially right in front of Sacré-Cœur. Actually, I'd sit on the hill in front of Sacré-Cœur and write as much as I could there. And I'd just sit and write until I'd put down like 4,000 or 5,000 words and was like too hungry to keep going. And I'd move on, and I would get so much work done because when I was on the ship, it was so much harder to actually focus and write. And I learned a lot about focusing in crowded environments and writing there because there was no privacy. And you would sit down like at a table in the cafe, which you will see soon enough when we go visit the ship. If you'd sit at the a table in the cafe, you'd have to put on your headphones as big as you could, face away from people, and like basically put up a sign that said, "Don't talk to me, I'm working," because everybody just wanted to be social, which is totally understandable, but it made it really hard to actually focus and get work done, which is why in cafes like this one, I'm actually very good at tuning everybody out. Oh, look at you, right? That's awesome. Just got a text message. My teach séjour is ready, so I figured I would capture that in the moment while I'm sitting here thinking about it, because otherwise I'd forget. What are you? And now, Natasha Cam.
Soon to be a resident of Paris, of France.
I'm getting dizzy and I'm just on this side of things. Anyways, yep, just thought I'd share that. And not hopefully annoy the neighbors. Triple thumbs up. It's snowing again. You just can't win. Anyways, that feels really good. We've been working here we've been here for a few hours. We're about to get kicked out. It's one of the problems with, I love Pavillon, but they have random events here sometimes. Just close the place down for unforeseen reasons. So we'll, I mean, maybe they post it on their website actually. I should probably check that out more frequently. But anyways, we'll get out of here. Got a little bit of work done. Feeling really good about that. I normally obviously love to write in coffee shops. That's one of the big things. Working on the ship for a long time really helped me to focus, I guess. And I like being around people. I like being around the smells. I love being in an environment that's warm and friendly and where I can be caffeinated now that I drink coffee. But I just really like working in these environments a lot. So now this is where I do most of my writing, is in coffee shops. And I have a variety of coffee shops that I like to hit around the city. Some of them I share on the blog, some of them not so much, because you got to keep some secrets, right? But today, where I write generally is in places like this.
You say what I think that it's snowing?
Ow, yeah. That's what I said, and then you walked away. I know, right?
It's so cold.
We sat there talking about Chinese. We're gonna go get Chinese for the Chinese New Year. And now we talked about it so much that Natasha can't help but go to like her favorite spot. Her favorite local spot, at least. This is why I'm actively not eating anything because I'm gonna be good. I bought stuff to cook at home today.
Me too, but I eat dinner at 10, so I'll be hungry by then again. Slow down today.
Great time hanging out with Natasha. I resisted. She gave me a taste of that beef though. It's really good. All I want is pho now, but I'm not gonna have pho. I'm gonna go cook up a bunch of pork chops and chop them up and eat them in, effectively, spaghetti. It's basically that first trilogy that I wrote in a whole bunch of different places, but while I was traveling. But when I was writing Into the Nansen, I spent a lot of time, I would write that on airplanes, I would write that in medical clinics, in my hotel. I had to do a lot of the work at nights in the hotel, because I lived in hotels for like 2.5 years. So a lot of that got done at night in the hotel, but that was also just a lot of production work as well. Photoshop, organization, creative management with my illustrator and my voice actor. Just a lot of outside work as well. Generally, I have to write with music. I always have music on. If I'm in a private space, maybe on my computer, but usually I've got earbuds in, headphones on, and listen to instrumental music, energetic stuff, mostly EDM, like electronic music, sometimes with lyrics, but never anything complex, because as soon as you turn on something that you actually want to listen to, it gets distracting, unless you know it well enough that you can ignore it. And while there are a handful of artists that I think are good to default to for that, Spotify's Discovery playlist is picked up on the fact that I basically just listen to music to work, and is pretty good at picking music that I work well to. There are also certain songs, as I've shared before, that inspire scenes for me, that inspire moods, that really set the tone, and that you can just sit to and kind of channel an attitude with. And so I will actually, in certain circumstances when I'm writing a scene or when I just feel like I need to be in the mode of a book, I will jump into that and just listen to like one particular album or a couple of songs over and over and over again as I write, just to power through something. So it's also very common that writing destroys music for me, because I just can't listen to it anymore after I'm done writing. I've just used it up and I'm tossing it to the side. Basically, my best writing happens now in the morning. I don't advocate for writing in super stressful situations with tons of people around all the time. Like writing on a hospital ship in West Africa was good. I needed it, and I'm glad that I did it, and I need to keep writing wherever I am, but I mean, I wouldn't seek that out as like a good place to go write. What's funny is I thought that it would be a good place to write. I was like, hey, I won't have as much to do. We'll be isolated. We'll be kind of out, you know, without much going on in the middle of a port. And I actually thought that I would have more time set aside for creative pursuits. So I really thought, yeah, I'm gonna get my writing done, and I might even be able to do some music. So I brought some like music equipment with me, as well as the books I wanted to write. And then as I got into it, I was like, I really need to focus on just one of these, and barely had any time for writing as it was, which is crazy. And we'll talk more about that as I remember to actually talk about mercy ships in the future. But writing is hard work. It takes concentration. It takes like a concerted effort. You have to actually sit down and make yourself do it, even if you don't want to do it. And the results aren't always great. Like you might actually be kind of miserable with what you produce. All that to say, my writing, like I said, gets best done now in the morning in coffee shops with a little bit of coffee, and that's the ideal for me, is to wake up and get to work, which is one of the reasons why I hate sleeping in, is because that's like prime time to be getting stuff done, and I want to be more on top of my schedule than I have been lately, so that's a part of it. So I write with music, often in coffee shops. My writing has been greatly improved lately by studying the craft of storytelling and writing, and not only writing books, but writing for screen. I feel like there are a lot of really, really good screenwriting books out there that have been incredibly helpful for understanding structure and really condensing everything down into something tight and meaningful that then you can elaborate on within a novel. And I'm looking forward to putting more of those methods and theories to actual practice here soon. And yeah, I love writing. It's one of the things that I think I'm going to do the rest of my life no matter what. And it's one of the reasons that I vlog, is just to share that in a different way. Well, I'm aware that some of you aren't as into the writing side and would just prefer that I sat out by the Eiffel Tower with a camera and just did nothing but sit there and drink wine, which just doesn't sound so bad, honestly. Except right now, it's really, really cold, and wow, it was like 56 degrees Fahrenheit, 13-ish degrees Celsius. In Nice, right now, it's like freezing. So it's like 32 and 0, roughly. Not my favorite. After watching Natasha eat, I am now super hungry and having a hard time even concentrating, so I'm gonna make food. And my titre séjour is ready. I just have to pay 269 euros in my taxes there, my timbre fiscal, and then it's done. I can't get it right away though. They sent me the date that it'll be ready, which is the end of the month. The crazy thing is, it'll be ready on February 27th, which is literally the day before the day I left for France a year ago. February 28th last year was when I left for France, got on a plane and flew here. The 27th will make it a full year before I even had my residency. That's ridiculous. That's how long it took me to get my titre séjour. But the benefit is, once I have it, it's good for 4 years. I am so lucky and so excited about that. I'm sure I will feel that much more excited once I have food in me, but I thought I would hit that up just for a moment at least. I have balsamic vinegar. I didn't mean to pour quite that much, but I figured soak these in balsamic for a minute before frying them up with some onions and garlic. It sounds good. Whether or not it is good, we'll find out soon enough. And I think for the first one, I'm not gonna have like red spaghetti sauce. Pretty sure I'm going to just make like pasta and put butter in it and then eat this with that. I think that'll be really good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this smells super good. Just wait, it's gonna smell better here in a second. All it's really missing is some like chives or something green on top, but smells amazing. I've been hungry since I started making this. I'm ready to eat. I've taken a bite of, I've sampled the sauce that came out of it. Very good. Anyways,